and people and people. We highlight small and aspiring businesses and people just doing their thing in the entrepreneurial space. I'm your host, Nadja Wright Brown. I encourage you to ask questions during this session, like, comment, share out, and follow NewB Business Talk on IG at NewB Business Talk. NewB underscore business talk, and on Facebook at NewB Business Talk. Today's talk is about the business of motivation. And our featured guest is Nzinga Amazulu. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing wonderful. I am loving your energy. You just giving me all of that goodness right now. Thank you
That's the
so
business of
much.
motivation, and that is what
That's
we're
the
here to talk
business.
about. That is the business. I could have woke up like, yo, this is crazy stuff going on today. But this is the motivation. And the motivation
Absolutely.
is I got follow Nzinga Amazulu at nothing, but we'll talk about that later.
Exactly.
You gotta
Okay,
give me your
got you. Okay.
hashtag.
I don't know what I put on there. I don't look. I don't know what I put on. I just put my name and everything. I don't know what else I was supposed to do.
we gonna get to that later, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So look, this is all about you, Nzinga. What is
Yes.
your story, please?
Oh my
Because you're a
goodness.
motivational speaker now,
Yeah.
but you've done a lot of different things, and you need to tell us what is your story, please. It's all
My
yours.
story. Wow. My story is a long story. Let me tell you. First and foremost, but I would say the whole reason why I got into the business of motivation was because coming from the upbringing that I had, I knew that there was a reason. I feel that there was a reason why I had been through all of the things that I had went through in my life, um, from just growing up and being a child who I didn't have the benefit of having my parents with me through the duration of my life. I went into the foster care system, I guess, when I was about 5 or 6. I think I was like 6. And prior to that, having the relationship that I had with my parents, it wasn't so great. I didn't feel like I was at home, because they was dealing with their own things. As I got older and I began to understand life more, I understood that these were human beings as well. So I had to learn how to release the resentment, release the anger, release the hurt, release the blame, the guilt, all of those different things, and be able to see them as just what they were. They were a man and a woman who met one day, who came together, who had issues, who had backgrounds, who had so many different things and experiences that they experienced in their life, and came together and had children, and they did what people do. They have, and they, procreate. Were they prepared? Absolutely not prepared. But at the same time, in their unpreparedness, it helped me to be able to go through a journey that would eventually help me to be able to feel that I wanted to give back to other people who were also sharing the same sentiments and circumstances that I had shared along my journey. So, fast forward, going into the foster care system at a really early age in my life. Um, at this time, obviously, I don't understand all that I'm experiencing. I don't understand that I'm being uprooted from my home. So I thought somewhere that, my family, and going into a totally different place, a totally different atmosphere. I think back then it was called like overnight stays. So for like maybe like a week or two, I had to just keep going to different people's houses in the foster care system. And again, as a child, I don't, I don't, all I know is that I don't feel safe anymore. You know what I mean? All I know is that something is happening in my life right now. I don't see my parents. I don't see my family. I don't see those people that I'm used to seeing every day. So, seeing all these new people that I don't know, being in their home, new rules all the time, you know, um, different expectations of me and what was required and what was expected, etc. And then just, getting older and I think at this point when I turned like maybe like around 8, I went and moved with my cousin who would have raised me until I was about 12. And to be honest with you, I think that was the most stablest situation I was in my childhood, because when I moved with her, she was a social worker. She was my biological cousin. I call her my mother, but she made her transition last year actually. But if it was not for me coming into her space and her allowing me and my sister actually in her space, I definitely would not be. I would not have had the opportunity to know that the life that I lived was not, it was not normal. It wasn't until coming into a situation where, um, it was care, it was love, it was stability. I would not have known stability. I would not have known that what love was, if it was not for this woman coming into my life. So after that, learning the different lessons that I learned from being with her and being, raised by her, her instilling the importance of education with me and my sister. Prior to that, I didn't really have a reference point, and the rest pretty much is history after that. But after leaving her house, I think I was like around 12 because some things happened um, with her husband, and just some inappropriate stuff going on there. And they had to remove me from the home and place me back into the foster care system, which I had to eventually go move with my aunt. And my aunt she was like really close to my age. I was like 12. She had to be about maybe like 17 or 18. I guess like 18. It was her and my grandmother. And so I went and moved with them. And it was not, again, back to an atmosphere where there wasn't really a lot of care and attention being given. I got pregnant at 14, and that changed my life. For some people, I know 14 is definitely, I wouldn't nobody wants to have a child at 14.
Yeah,
But I think when I
young.
first, yeah, it was super young. But after that, my life
It's the
pretty
norm
much,
in some countries,
it
though.
is the norm. Absolutely. In
So,
some
but
countries,
it is
yeah.
very young. You're just really getting your life started, and yeah, it's really sad, but it is a cultural thing, and marriage at the age of that
Hmm.
age and
Hmm.
15 and all of that. So,
Yeah.
um, you've gone through a lot,
A lot.
and
Yeah.
you're still here.
Yeah.
You are a motivational speaker. So let's talk about that, because motivational speaking, there's different audiences that
Yeah.
you can target. Who is your audience for the motivational speaking? Let's start there, because after going through all of
Yeah.
that, and I'm growing up from a inner
Yeah.
city housing project in the South Bronx myself, a single
Wow.
mom home. My mother had me at
Wow.
17. I have a younger sister. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. I didn't navigate through the adoption the adoption industry and all of that. So that's a totally different experience. But the foundation of childhood and what how we're dealing and navigating through life today
Yeah.
matters.
It
So
matters.
you're a motivational speaker. Talk to us about that.
My target audience is definitely Black women. Um, it's Black people in general, to be honest with you, because, and the reason why, it's people in general, but whoever decides to, wants it's there. But I really want to speak to women because, first of all, I'm a woman, and I know that all the things that I had went through in my life, I feel like,
And a black woman. Say that.
yeah,
A
yes.
black woman. Yeah, because I could go on and on and on. And like, everybody's like, and why is it always black? Why can't it be women in general? And that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Black woman.
Right. And people, I don't want to do a whole bunch of offending of people, but it's definitely Black women, because Black women, I understand Black women's story so much because my story. You understand what I'm saying? I can't speak for someone else who I don't understand, because really I could speak but it's not going to hit them. It's not going to impact them as much as I could speak to someone who I clearly understand their story. You understand
Exactly.
what I'm
All they got to
saying?
do is watch Mandingo. Okay.
That's right.
Hello.
Right.
Anyway, let's carry on. People, know your history. Watch Mandingo and what they were doing with these young girls, these filthy people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, that's a whole nother story.
Go ahead. I agree with you. Yeah, that's it. I would just say the motivational piece just came from, because that's listening to different people along my journey really, really helped change my mindset. So I know that there's so much power in information. There's so much power in guidance. There's so much power in role models. There's so much power in that it changes your life. So I strive my best to be an example, and not just through the words of motivation, because motivation is not just what a person says, it's also how they carry themselves, it's also how they show up, it's how they handle situations, it's how they walk, how they talk, how they dress.
You can talk all you want, and you may not be acting how you talk. So that's very important.
And that causes more damage than anything. Yeah, I agree. So so that's what I would say. I would say that's my target audience. I'm crystal clear about that. And just walking in alignment with that.
Who's your role model or role models? Because we all have somewhat of a role model or model.
Yeah. I would have to say, I have so many, I've come across so many amazing people along my journey, men and women, to be honest. And I can break down so many different ways where so many people have been very influential. But I would say a person that a lot of people may know, a popular figure, in terms of that I've studied her work, I've gotten on her books, I've joined different classes and workshops and seminars she's had, and that person would be Iyanla Vanzant. I really
Ask the face. I love it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I have the books.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love
that
it.
book. And she has been very instrumental in terms of, everybody got their own stuff about what they say and etc. But for me, she has been a great role model to aspire towards. You know what I mean? And that's definitely someone who I have studied, continue to study, follow her work, and benefit so much from it. I benefit so much from it. And I really, really try my best to be my own expression of that type of divinity, if you will.
Yes. So with your motivation and all that you've been through, I've known you to become a graphic designer because you designed the fantabulous NewB Business Talk logo that we see here on the screen, with all the styles and, and then the website is coming, I'm going to put people on that later. We got some big stuff coming with NewB Business Talk, so y'all better be tuned in.
Y'all better subscribe.
Exactly. The branding strategist, the coach, community organizer, and entrepreneur. So your motivation caused you to become all of these great things. Let's talk about those experiences, because there's a lot of graphic designers out there. There's a lot of branding strategists, coaches, community organizers, entrepreneur. Can you walk us through those motivations and, how they all intertwine to where you're at right now as a motivational speaker?
I would say that, one of the things that I'm learning about life in general is that sometimes we don't oftentimes see why things were necessary in our lives, so I can go back to my childhood and I can think about times when I can point it, I can pick it apart. I can say this wasn't right, this wasn't normal, I didn't need this in my life, and et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm learning is that I needed all of it. Every experience that I experienced was needed in order for me to be where I am today and where I'm going. So I've become crystal clear about that. So with regards to the graphic design and the branding strategy, I got into that because, as far as the graphic design, I got into that because I was a part of an organization, an African-centered organization here in Baltimore. And, we used to have these marketplaces that we would do. And I started working with one of my sisters. And she would like be the one always going out to go get the flyers, and you're like having a maid, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, well, I can do it. Let me just try to, work up my geniuses so I can learn how to do flyers and do them. So the way that I first started was I started doing them on my phone. So it was this app on my phone called PixArt. And I started doing stuff and doing little flyers, and on my phone I was doing all of this stuff. So
Yep,
I
you
had
did a
people
couple
telling
for
me like,
us too. So I remember.
yes. So I was like, everybody was like, these look good. These are really nice. And so I'm like, if I could do this on my phone, I need to really, really, really go ahead and get serious about this graphic business. So I decided I started watching tutorials on YouTube first. And then I was like, this ain't gonna work because I ain't learning nothing. A week or two about, I was like, this ain't gonna help. So I signed up for this class, this online graphic design class. And so I started learning, and slowly but surely, I started getting it. I started, I started learning Photoshop, and I started, just learning how to do certain things. And I was like, okay, this tool, I have to do this. This tool, I could do this. And then I could even do this with this tool, you know.
Self-education, people. You listening to
Yes,
Nzinga right now. Self-education, so it's no excuse. Everybody has an excuse about why they
yes,
can't do things. You started with
no
YouTube, it didn't
excuse.
work for you, and then you sign up for a class. That's investing in yourself. Go on.
Absolutely. Now, hey, the thing of the matter is, even with YouTube, I don't want to say it didn't help because it gave me some fundamentals, but I knew that I had to get a little bit more in order to understand. I needed a person I could talk to say, oh, well, what does this do? Exactly. So then before you know it, I just was like, hey, I got this. And I just started doing it more and more and more and more. And then, before I made it a business, I got a lot of my experience with working with the organization that I was a part of. So I started doing a lot of different work there, which really, really, really helped me to build up my level of confidence enough to say, you know what, I want to make this a business, and then I want to share this with other people. And so I, put it out there, and it got really great, feedback. And I started working and started, having different clients, such as yourself, such as so
Yeah,
many
because
other people.
you
Yeah.
had such a great deal. It was a package. So, folks, let me just explain to you what happened, how this whole newbie business talk logo
Yeah.
came into effect, and the concept in general. Because if anyone knows me from Naja Speaks and speaking about veganism on the najaspeaks.com platform, everybody associates me with just veganism. And let me tell you something. I'm in
That's
the
so true.
investing, I'm in the real estate, I'm a business person, I'm an entrepreneur. So I have all of those type of friends too. And the
Yeah.
Not Just Speaks platform just wasn't the platform to talk to certain folks on, because we're talking about, finding your vegan soul. So the
Yeah.
newbie business talk, and by the way, it's Naja E. Wright Brown business talk. So that's what the newbie is. But that whole newbie thing, I'm trying to target small aspiring businesses and entrepreneurs. I came to Nzinga because she had such a great deal. She said she was going to do the logo and the website, all of this stuff. And I said, you know what, sis, let's go for it. And she
Yeah.
did an amazing job. And we're just getting started. And this was in October, I think, around that time. I know it
Yeah.
was like the
Yeah.
middle of
Hmm.
last year or something.
Hmm.
And I've been interviewing folks on the show, but there's a whole nother plan. But talk about the branding and the importance of the branding, because people miss that whole branding part. Can you explain why it's so important?
So, so when I was trying to really quickly just say, when I got into the graphics, that's when I began to learn the importance of branding. So when I got more into graphics and I'm learning more about the classes, learning more from the classes, etc., we came up with this comment, or the professors, the instructor started speaking about branding. And I was saying to myself, what is that? Why is that? And so they start learning, talking to you about all of these different things about branding your business, the importance of branding your business, the importance of people coming to you because you are a logo designer, because you are a graphic designer. People are going to be coming to you. You have to have some knowledge about branding your business. So then here we go. The next step, I decided to sign up for a branding strategist course to become a brand strategist, a branding strategist. And so I began to learn the importance of branding, because here's the thing: when people see certain symbols, so for example, Branding is so serious to the point where now when I have to go to the store and go purchase diapers, I always say I have to go to the store and go get Pampers. I don't even say
Right.
diapers. I'm just saying that for the sake of this conversation. I say I have to go to the store and go get Pampers. I
Right.
know for some of us that probably passed your head, but Pampers is not it. Pampers is a brand.
Right.
Diapers is what you're going to go get. So the whole mind thing, the way these businesses brand their business so well in some ways, because you have different, when you're branding your business, you have different things that you can maximize in your business, or basically like there's something that you can be known for in your
Right.
branding process. So let's take like Amazon, for example. Amazon is known for their customer service. Now, although they sell so many different things, they sell a lot of different things. But what Amazon is known for is a lot of their customer service. You go to Amazon, Walmart, all these really, big brands. You go to these places and you let them know, hey, I got a tire. You didn't even get the tire from here. They would take the tire back and give you a refund.
Wow.
I ain't even get it from here, because they're really big on the customer relationship with you. Apple, for example, we can go down the line with all these different businesses, but what I'm learning is that
of why you need to be
it's
branded.
very important, because it's your reputation. It's your company's, your business reputation. So if the reputation that they have is that they come to you and they get poor customer service, the products is not, up to par, or there's issues always with your products, or whatever the case may be, then, you have to go back to the drawing board and do some work, because who's going to want to support something like that? Now, if they come to you and, you try your best, not to say that there's not going to be hangups, because even with, doing logo designs, there's so many people that say, oh, I don't like that. Then I have to be open. I have to be communicative, be polite, I have to be certain things in order to make sure that my customers feel good after doing business with me.
We got a lot of people giving comments. Let me show some love here for people that are tuning in. Here we go. Niono, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing that. Niono, your story is so important, sis. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the comment.
Thank you.
Camille, who definitely blessed us with her vegan desserts at Land of Kush in one lifetime. She loves it.
Oh my
goodness. She says you do quality work. Thanks for tuning in, Camille. And
thank you so much, Camille.
Haki, who's also a good friend of mine. Pieces. Yes, thank you for tuning in. Let's talk about the coaching. There's a world of people in coaching. It's so much. So you got motivated to graphic design through, an organization you were part of, and they were doing events. And then you went further and motivated yourself to learn the business of branding and why it was so important. And then you went into the coaching. Let's talk about coaching. What?
That is a lot.
So much coach. What are you coaching? Who are you coaching? Why was coaching part of this motivated move of yours?
So again, coaching Black women. And coaching, the reason why I got into coaching is because when I was younger, everybody was always telling me you talk too much. And so here's the thing though, but here's the thing, where our greatest strength lies, like it could be sometimes I'm telling you, sometimes like when you're younger, it could be something about you that, for me, I love to talk. And I love to sing. So I sing great. I've been blessed with an amazing voice, right? And although I do not do nothing with my voice, I could be a millionaire by now. I don't do anything with my voice. But I knew that the Creator had blessed me. There was a connection between my voice and my purpose. So as I began to grow, I got into this thing where I had several coaches along my journey. Spiritual, and I would like to say I'm more in alignment with spiritual and life coaching, right? But I had so many coaches.
We need that. We need the
exactly.
Yes, blessings.
So we had so many. I had several spiritual coaches and mentors and different things that really transformed my life, transformed my life. When I sit here and I tell you transformed, I mean transformed my life,
Oh
because
yeah, trust me,
the
I
woman,
know. I'm hearing you.
yeah.
I'm hearing you.
So saying all that to say that coaching is important, because just like someone reached back or reached over to the side and grabbed my hand, to help me to grow, I feel that it is my obligation to do the same. And as I continue to grow, because I haven't arrived anywhere, but I know a little bit more than what I knew before.
You
And I
have
know
arrived
that what I do
somewhere.
have,
You have
yeah, yeah,
arrived.
I
You've
know, I
arrived
have
somewhere,
arrived.
sis. Please. I got
I'm
somebody
being
talking about
humble.
you can sing.
Right.
You remember you're singing too? Akila, thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in. You're just adding too much on there. We only got one so
Yeah.
much time. You can sing too. I haven't heard
you
that.
know, so just saying that to say that as someone reached and grabbed my hand to, bring me along, I have to do the same thing for someone else who may not know the things that I know. It's my it's
Each one
my
teach
it's my
one.
duty.
Each one teach one. We live in a society right now that people hoard information, they keep things to themselves. Um, and when you're talking about women and black women, we need to be lifting each other up and down with the cattiness. And I love cats,
Yeah.
actual cats. But
Yeah.
we need to be
Yeah.
down with the cattiness. We are our own worst enemies sometimes. And I look at that and I say, what is going on? If not us, then who? We
Yeah.
got to be lifting each
Yeah.
other up.
Yeah.
So the coaching is important. If you know something, you teach something to someone else. I mean, other cultures do it. We need to, band together and be doing that too. So that's great that you're coaching spirituality, because it's very important. And then you're a community organizer. I know you got an event
Yeah.
coming up, right?
Yeah. Several of them. Yeah.
Okay, talk about that. Because let me tell you, before we get into all of that, I want to know, how does it feel to be a mother and wife engaging in all this activity? Because we're going on and on and on and
Yeah. I
on,
know.
and you're a
Yeah.
mother and a wife. You have a
A
beautiful
mother. A mother
family.
of six.
Oh
Yes. A
my
mother of
God.
six.
Okay, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna take myself off the screen and commend you for that. Talk about that. That is a lot. Six should be.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Yes.
I'm gonna lay
Yes.
out right now.
So, well, first and foremost, I definitely got to give thanks to the divine. I give thanks to my ancestors for allowing me to be in a situation where I have a family set up, where my husband really, really, really has been a great advocate for me in terms of allowing me to do my work. You
That's
understand what I'm saying?
important.
It's
That's
so important,
important.
because if and
No, for
it just
real.
makes me
Because
think.
we
Yeah, it
advocate for
is.
our husbands, they need to advocate for us.
We
That's very important.
hello.
Snap, snap, snap.
You wear the snap button. Because you done said a whole word right there. It's because when we in relation, we have to make sure that we take care of each other. And I think that I didn't always understand that principle, but I understand it, as I continue to grow, I understand I understand it more, the importance of it. So I would not be able to do all that I do if it was not for having the support of my husband. That's first and foremost. My husband now, he got the children off to the side, keeping them away from me, while I do this interview. And I'm grateful for that, because if he was not here, then I would be like, I would have children everywhere, but nobody want to be no business with me because the children always around and
Oh
calling
no, we
me. And
still
I
have
wouldn't,
this interview. We was gonna make it
no,
happen because I was gonna support
I
you on
wouldn't.
that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even have the focus,
Right.
like the focus to get my thoughts right, because
I
I'm
got
worried
you.
about the little ones. So, but I definitely give thanks for my family. And to be honest with you, I just try to balance it all out. I'm a very driven person, self-motivating person. And so I try my best to balance out my desires and all my visions I be coming up with, and balance it out with my reality. The reality of having my oldest son, who's out of the home now. He has his own place and all those different things, doing a really great job. I'm super proud of him. But
Hallelujah.
yes, I'm
Congratulations.
super proud of him. Yes, so proud of him. But just still balancing out having the father in my household, just making sure that I'm spending quality time, making sure that I am being an example that I need to be for them, making sure that, I'm working on the things that I need to work on as they're growing so they can see the example that I did not see. So they can have a greater start than I had. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't have to be 25 years old, 24 years old, just coming across information to change their life. They know it at 15. They know it at 10. They know it at 5. You know what I mean? So as they continue to evolve, because what I do is for my children, to be honest with you. It's for other people, of course. But what I do within myself, it just comes out, you know, who I am. I just share it. But it's the reasons why I do what I do. It's for my children,
Exactly. They
because
need to see that, because
they
that's
need
going
to.
to be instilled in them. What are some tips that you can offer the viewers? And there's more comments coming in, and we'll get to those. People are just loving you out there, and great. Thanks for tuning in. So appreciate it. What are some tips that you could offer the viewers who want to become more self-motivated or build up their motivations for, be
Mhm.
it business endeavors or just even investing in themselves, to for whatever it is that they want to improve upon. I remember having my first and only daughter, just one daughter, and I felt that,
She said just one.
yeah, that things were over, and my husband got landed cush, and nobody's thinking about me, and I can't do anything, and I had to really overcome that, and I
No.
really had to do it myself by reading books that motivated me to say, hey, before all of this, you were doing all of that, and you can
Mhm.
still do it,
Mhm.
whether you have one child, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please share some tips on how viewers can become self-motivated, build up their motivations for whatever it is they want to do in life.
And before I go into that and answer that question, I just want to tell you that you also inspire me, because I can tell that you're very self-motivating. You're a hard worker. I done watched you over the years, just like you are very driven, and you're a hard worker. So inevitable. It was inevitable for you to be doing exactly what you're doing now, and all of the venues that you do, because you're self-motivated, and I could tell you just kind of like very like ambitious, and you don't stop. You just don't stop. So
Sometimes that's a
you
problem,
know
but thank you for
that
that.
hey, everything is, it could be a problem, it could be good, but sometimes it works in our favor. So if you didn't have that, then but the thing that I would say to people who desire to do whatever they need, and they may need to be more self-motivating, and whatever the case may be, the first thing that I would say is just make sure that whatever you're doing, you love it. I think that's the crucial part, because when you love something, you don't feel the pull, and this goes in alignment with knowing your purpose. Because when you know something, you don't have to wake up with a drag, and like, oh, somebody gotta keep, hey, are you gonna do this, and hey, you're gonna do that, and keep reminding you of doing. You wake up and you just know, hey, look, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I'm here for. This is my purpose. This is what I'm doing, and
And you
and
do
you're
it
and
for
you're okay
free.
with that,
And
and
you
you
would
do it
do it
for
for
free.
free.
You said it right there. And what I'm learning though is that, even because some people like to get caught up in the whole thing of, you want to make, when you do it from a place of, this is your passion, and you do it from a place of love, meaning this is something that you really have a passion for doing, you don't have to try to wrestle with how you're going to take care of yourself, because the blessings will come to you. Just walk in alignment with doing what you love to do. Don't do it because you think you're going to make money, or you think you're not going to make money. Do it because this is something that I love to do. And when you start from that foundation, everything else that you build on is going to be right in alignment. It's going to be in alignment. That's it. So that's
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 the
the tip
million
I would
dollar
give.
answer right there, everyone.
That's it.
So we spend all this great time talking about the foundation and Zinga's background, all to find out that you got to find something that you love to do so much that you would do it for free. And we really have to dig deep down and do a self assessment on what that'll be, because a lot of times we're doing things for other people, and that's why we're running into these issues with motivation, and we're not really looking inside to find out what is it that drives me, and what is my passion,
Yes.
passionate enough to do it for free. So you just dropped the jewels. Can you talk about a major moment in your life where the self motivation played a key role? So I just talked about after my pregnancy, I was, we go through the baby blues and all that other stuff. And I had to lift myself up and read some books and listen to some tapes and audios to get myself back on track with self-motivation. Is there a time where that played a role? What was that time?
The crazy part is I would say similar to yours, but a little different. I would say, having a child at 14 changed my life because even though I was 14 and even though I did not have the information that I would have, liked to have to raise this child, I just knew that something happened, and that I had to get serious. And so it wouldn't take me until years down the line before I really, and everything, like I said, everything is in divine alignment. Everything is in divine order. Things happen as they should for a reason because, and I'm not saying having a child at 14 was for a reason, but who knows? And who am I to say that was not supposed to happen or that was, even for my son, I don't even know what his journey was, what his mission and his purpose of being here was for him to have a mother to have him at 14. We don't know. We don't know. And so it's some things that's out of sight, out of mind. We don't know. And some of that stuff is just spiritual. Right. So I have come to learn that when I had my son at 14, it was life changing for me. Now I had to get serious about some things because at this point, I didn't have a stable place where I was staying. I didn't have any income coming in. It was a lot of different things that was happening in my life at this moment. So I had to get crystal clear about what I was going to do. And so, like I said, as time went on, as I got older, I got into the club life a lot. And, we're going to have another show on that one. But I got into the club life and I started, just doing a lot of crazy stuff. I would like to deem it as crazy, but I learned a lot from that atmosphere.
Well, I was a club promoter, so my apologies.
Oh, okay.
I was a nice club promoter, so my apologies.
Really? Are you serious? Wow.
Yes, in my past life in New York, I was a nightclub promoter.
Really? Wow. So for me, when I got into that business, it was like, that was a way of me making money. And I told myself, this is a way of me to be able to take care of my son and all of those different things. And so many different things happened. I swear, I'm telling you, it was so many different things happened in my life that I knew something was like, you got to get it together. And I knew, I'm telling you, I was protected. I was protected in so many ways. When I look back, I'm like, how did I get out of that? I don't even know how I got out of some of the things that I got out of because I just knew I was protected. I'm telling you, somebody's prayers, something was covering me. And I'm grateful for that. But I would have to say, definitely when I had my son, I knew life just got real.
But we got some more shout outs here. So shout out to Baba Chaka.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Shout out to Baba Chaka. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And it is so different when you love it, your passion. Absolutely loving the comments. Is there any major challenge where you think you could have used more self-motivation in moving yourself forward? I know we run into some things where you're like, Dad, if I would have just pushed myself a little bit more, I probably would have been at this point. Was there any point in your life where you felt motivation could have been used a little bit more?
To be honest with you, and I'm saying this from a very humble place. I've always been a go-getter. I've always been self-motivating. So I've never had any issues with self-motivating. I think most of my issues was understanding my worth. Understanding my worth, understanding my power, understanding the power of my voice, understanding that, that peace and love and abundance is just my birthright, so those were things that I had to come more into understanding. Motivation, I would be motivated to do some crazy stuff. Look, you ain't have to motivate me to do some crazy stuff because if I wanted it, I'm gonna go for it.
Right.
But I think the main thing definitely had to be just understanding my worth through the process because I did not always understand my worth.
I love it.
And it reflected. Yeah.
I love it.
It
Understand
reflected.
your worth, everyone. And here, thank you for tuning in. Davon T is coming with the fist and the black heart,
Yes,
green
yes,
heart, what
yes.
all of that love, feeling it. Thank you for tuning in. How can one get motivated in helping their own communities and reaching necessary goals strategically, or reaching just their personal goals strategically?
I would say first, like I just now said, get clear about get it to the best of your ability, because I think self discovery is a forever journey. You know, we're going to always be discovering ourselves and rediscovering, because we're always growing, right? But I would say just get crystal clear about who you are. And if you get crystal clear about who you are, you will find the things, you will walk more in alignment with your purpose and your passions. And when you walk more in alignment with your purpose and your passions, so many different opportunities open up to you. And your intuition is going to tell you what to do. Allow intuition to guide you, not from a place of the fear, because that's not your intuition. And sometimes in knowing ourselves, we have to know the difference between, is this fear, or is this divinity speaking to me? You know,
Right,
is this
right.
divinity speaking to me within myself?
And
But
sometimes
when
when
we
you
clear
fear, you
about,
have to do it anyway. Sometimes you got to
that's
absorb
so
that
true.
fear and do things anyway. Of course, be conscious of what it is,
Absolutely.
but sometimes that fear is helping you in making decision, take a leap of faith and do it anyway.
Absolutely. Because if you look at all of the great things that we love, and that all of the people that we look up to, and all of those different things, they had to take a leap of faith for whatever. I don't care if it was to speak. I don't care if it was to write a book. I don't care if it was to start a show, like you're doing.
Press
Everybody.
record, go live. People like in fear of going live. I'm like, pre-record.
I
I'm not telling you,
know, I
pre-record. We
know. I
going
hear it
live.
all the time, right? But it's okay, and just trust yourself. Just trust yourself. And I know for some of us, we've been beat down so long, or we've been told that we can't do certain things, or whatever the case may be. Just trust yourself and know that you have all that you need, to do the things that you desire to do, and just keep on growing. Just keep growing, and also through the journey, be very compassionate with yourself.
I'm
Be
loving it.
compassionate with yourself.
I'm loving it. Sis and Nzinga, I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to hang with me this
Absolutely.
morning on this NewB business talk trip of the business of motivation, which is very important. We're going to close it out in a minute. And I just want to know, how can we best reach you? Because you didn't give me any social handles.
I
What is going on with
know
that? We want to know what
that.
projects you're working on. How do we follow you,
Okay.
sis?
Facebook is the best place. It's my only social media page right now. Facebook, which is on Facebook at Nzinga Amazulu, as spelled on this platform. And you can always send me a message, and you can always just follow me to keep up with all of the things that I'll be doing, that I am doing, and that I'll continue to do along my journey.
Thanks again, Davon T, for the strength and the crowns. I'm loving it. Folks, again, please, this is the new thing coming up. You want to like the NewB Business Talk on Facebook. And Nzinga and I was talking about this last year, and I was giving her my vision, and she was like, yeah, you need to go for that. So please follow NewB_Biz Talk on Instagram. And we do have a group that will be interactive soon, and very soon. And I'm always looking for guests like Nzinga, cruelty free, please, because I'm still on the cruelty free tip. If you're doing anything that harms any beings, I can't showcase you. I'm sorry. So I'm just saying, as long as your business and service is cruelty free, let me connect with you, talk with you, and let's drop some NewB business jewels. But whatever you do, make sure you are well, be safe, and please stay blessed. Thanks again for tuning in. All right. I'm loving it.